So let's follow this story though for a little while longer and talk about a guy named McKinley Morganfield. Now McKinley Morganfield was nicknamed by his mother Muddy Waters when he was a little boy because he liked to go down to the Mississippi River and play in the mud whenever it got hot outside and he needed a little break from it. So he'd go for a swim and he'd sit around and he'd come back all muddy, and his mother knew that he had been playing in the river. So she called him Little Muddy Waters. And Muddy Waters gets to the point where it's in late 30s, early 40s, and Muddy is working on the plantation. By this time, the mules have been replaced by tractors, and Muddy Waters gets a job driving tractor on a plantation. Now he's working for 25 cents a day when he finds out that the other tractor driver is working for 27 cents a day. Now, he goes to the boss and says, I do a good job for you. I would like the 2 cents more a day, please. I want to get the same pay as this guy. I'd like 27 cents a day. And the boss says, well, listen, every time I buy a tractor, it costs me a lot of money, but 7 people end up out of a job because the tractor moves twice as fast as a man with a mule pulling a plow. And the tractor makes 4 rows at a time. So it does the work of 8 men. And you're just one and you're driving it. There's 7 other people out of a job. And if you don't think that one of them will take your job for 25 cents a day, then think twice and take a hike. So Muddy Waters, who had grown up playing a diddly bow because they had no money, had himself a guitar and he played. Well, now if I feel tomorrow like I feel today, I'm gonna pack up all my things and make my getaway. And trouble is on my worried mind. I can't ever be satisfied, still can't keep myself from trying. Still a 12-bar blues singing that if I feel tomorrow like I feel today, I'm going to pack up all my stuff and make my getaway. Well, that's exactly what he did, because he didn't get the raise he wanted. So Muddy Waters joined the largest human migration ever in the history of North America as he hopped the Illinois Central train from Mississippi all the way on up to Chicago, Illinois. And when he got up there, remember, he had been working for 25 cents and he wanted 2 cents a day raise. He gets up there, and the reason that why is everybody leaving the South? Everybody, aside from just the Depression and the Depression being over and the war and all the things that are going on, African Americans are leaving the South to go north and get just a little sample of human rights and dignity, because the South is an ugly place to be and not treated well, paid terribly, and up north, well, that's where all the industry is, and that's where all the tractors are being made, and the automobiles are being made, and all these new inventions. It's a hugely new and different time. So he gets up there, he gets himself a job at a factory, and it pays $1.25 a day. 5 times as much money as he was making before. Well, Muddy Waters does what you and I would do if we were suddenly making 5 times as much money as we're making. He goes out and he buys himself a car, something he wouldn't have been able to afford down in the South. He goes out, buys himself a brand new invention, the refrigerator. Instead of having to go when the ice man comes by every couple of days and getting another block of ice and putting it in the ice box, he just plugs this thing into the wall, and man, when he gets home at the end of the workday, there's a cold beer in the fridge. Now, that's a pretty good invention. He also swaps in his old acoustic guitar for a brand new invention in 1949. The solid body electric guitar. Something made by Les Paul and for the Gibson Company. Is now mass produced. He gets his hands on one of these things and he starts playing that Delta blues on an electric guitar. He loves the sound because it's a strange thing happens. You take that and plug it into the thing and you turn it up. If you turn it up enough, it gets really loud and really distorted. Happens to sound fantastic with this Delta blues that he's been playing. So Muddy Waters changes the entire world because he then puts together a band with some of his friends from Mississippi. Puts together a band with 2 electric guitars, bass and drums, for the first time ever on the planet. Now think about what bands today have 2 electric guitars, bass and drums, and you'll see that he changed the whole world. He invented the modern day rock band before there was any such thing as rock music. Suddenly, they're playing in the clubs, and this music is as loud as a 20-piece band. And people are gathering to try to get in there. They can't, pushing and shoving, trying to get close. Chester Burnett has also come up from the south, and he's making this kind of music as well. So people are going out to see Muddy Waters in one club and Howlin' Wolf in the other club. Howlin' Wolf, huge man with size 16 feet, standing like 6'6" and weighing 300 pounds. And he'd come in swinging from the stages would have the beautiful big old velvet curtains. He'd crawl up them and come in and hover over top of everybody and scare the crap out of everybody. And smile with his gold teeth and sing so powerfully and just it was an incredibly amazing experience. Imagine the first time you ever heard 2 electric guitars, bass and drums. The first time anybody had ever heard it. It was an incredible thing, and it literally changed the world.